In this video, I am going to attempt to walk you through copying across your own version of the ePortfolio template together with setting up your structure for your assessor ePortfolio, and then also a quick look at populating it as well. So I'm hoping that this video will walk you through that process end to end. So you should be able to watch it, pause it, and then follow it along. So to get started, I am in here in the Teams desktop app, and I'm going to click straight into the FET PD Hub. So you should have the ePortfolio project channel. So if you go ahead and click on it, that's just the ePortfolio project channel. From here, we're going to go up to the top to one of the tabs, and we're just going to click on the File tab. From there, there's a little magic button here. So it's open in SharePoint, which just gives us a little bit more functionality along the lines of what we need in order to get our own copy. But if you don't see open in SharePoint coming up across the top here, you should have 3 dots. And if you click on the 3 dots, it should give you the option to open in SharePoint. Go ahead and click in. So at this stage, you could be prompted to log in. So there we go, I'm prompted. Go ahead and log in with your KWETB Office 365. So now we're in the back end of Microsoft Teams, which is SharePoint. So down here, you can see we have the Assessment ePortfolio template. And this is the latest template with all of the updates. So you'll see here when I hover over the Assessment ePortfolio, I get a 3-dot option. So if I just click on the 3 dots, that will give me an option to copy the template. So just go ahead and find Copy To, and you can click there. So from here, this is just opening up the ePortfolio SharePoint, but I don't want to copy it to the PD team. I want to copy it across into my own files. So if I just click on My Files, so ePortfolio project, there it is. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to copy here. Okay, so that is copying at the moment. So next I'm going to switch back to my OneDrive. So here I am in my OneDrive, and I've navigated to my ePortfolio project file, and in here I have 2 templates that are ready to go. So first off, I'm just going to show you how to rename the template. So I'm going to go ahead with the one that I just have here. So that is Assessment ePortfolio. Again, click on the 3 dots, click Rename, and the naming convention that we have is just the module code. So I'm going to set this one for computer applications at level 4. So I'm just going to shorten that name so that it stays nice and tidy, and then put my initials at the end. So that is 4N1112 computer apps, and then my initials AS, and click Rename. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is push this ePortfolio out to the OneNote for Windows 10 desktop app. So to do that, just click to open in the browser. When I'm talking about the browser, I'm talking about the internet window that I'm in here. I happen to be in Google Chrome, so you can either use Google Chrome or you can use the Microsoft Edge browser. We don't recommend using the Internet Explorer. It just doesn't work very well. So from here, we're just going to go ahead and click this little drop down because we want to open it in the desktop app. So go ahead and click Open in Desktop App, and then open OneNote for Windows 10. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of a syncing issue. This is good because this is what happens to you guys. So I'm just going to click OK. And what I'm going to do in this instance is just see if I can pull it down myself. So I'm just going to click on More Notebooks. And here we go. So we have 4N1112 computer apps AS. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to open it. See if this will let me in. Okay, so it's really important when we do this just to make sure that it's synced, because I was coming up with an issue. My internet wasn't great today, so that is probably what's causing the problem. So at the moment it's showing as synced. See this little kind of round circular symbol? So I'm just going to open it up just to make sure that the pages are synced as well. Okay, so that's looking good and healthy. I have a cloud with a tick, and I have that little circle with the multiple arrows as well. So just to make sure, I'm going to right click on the title, and I'm just going to go sync and sync this notebook. And that did a little swirl up here, and that's all good. You should also see your full name. If you don't, log out and log back in. If it just displayed Ashley up there, for example, I would know that I need to do a little bit of work. But when my full name is displayed, all is good. I have the syncing circle and I have the cloud with the tick. Okay, so now we are ready to populate our ePortfolio template. So I'm going to go ahead as if I was making this for myself. So on the start here, the first page that we need to fill in is the module overview page. And that is what replaces the page that you would have stuck traditionally on top of your box of folders. So I'm going to pretend that this is for general learning. And I'm just going to go ahead and enter in the details. So again, computer applications. And then enter in your name. And you just type to click. It's that simple. So you can enter the center number or your own number in there, whatever you prefer. I'm just making this one up for the demo purposes. So next we have the checklist. So this is the last thing that you would enter. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this ready because this is what I would do. So I'm entering in my name as the assessor, and then the program module is computer applications, and the code again 2. Okay, so I don't know how many learners I have yet. And then this checklist is the last thing that you'll complete. But again, you just tick the box and then you can type in here to add in any comments. Again, the IV checklist, don't need to populate this, but I'm going to be nice and pop my name in. So the person that's coming in doing my IV doesn't have to do it. And again, the award title and code. And it's 4N1112. That's gone off a little bit on me, so I'm just going to fix that up so that it looks the same. There we go. Okay. Note to self to fix that in template. Again, not sure how many learners I have yet, so that's fine. I can leave everything as is, and I don't need to do anything then on the other pages. So that's the start here part done. So next we're going to get ready to do our assessor ePortfolio. So again, if you'd like to see more or less here, you can click and drag on these parts to make them bigger or smaller, whatever works for you. So I'll make them big for the purposes of when we're doing our demos here. Just going to click on the little arrow drop down to open up the assessor ePortfolio. So the results will be last, but I'm going to get this ready. So I'm going to click here because I'm going to take this page or this little object out. So again, click to highlight the entire object because I know that I'm going to insert a printout of the provisional results sheet here. So click, delete, that's gone. So that is ready for me to print my results in. I also have a little space there to sign. So the documentation is next. So the first thing that it asks for is a copy of the component specification. So it's really important that we put this in, and it's available from the QQI website. So I'm going to show you how to go and get that now. But again, I'm going to take the instructions out. So there is a link there. I'm actually going to click on it and use it. That makes sense. So it's opening up. But in the meantime, I'm going to click delete. And I'm going to leave my cursor up here. So I'm going to click just in front of the component specification, because when I want to print my component spec in here, it helps if I just place my cursor so that the print lands right at the top of the page. So meanwhile, this is opening the Q search for me. So the module that I want is 4N1112, and press enter, computer applications, there it is, nice and handy. So then we're looking for the component or award specification, click computer applications. So here it is. So now I'm in the Edge browser, but that's okay. It's just what opened up. And straight from here, if I click on print, it'll open up the print dialog box for me. I already have OneNote for Windows 10 selected, but you just click on the drop down, select OneNote for Windows 10. It's all set up for me, and just click print. So my OneNote icon is going to flash orange on my taskbar. You won't be able to see it, but I can. When you do it yourself, you will. So I've just hovered over there so you can see the little prompt. Just going to click on it. And then I have my location ready because I left my cursor on the component specification page. So I'm just going to click there to open it up and then click OK. So hopefully my component spec will land in where I want it. So let's see how I got on. Yeah, so it's nice and close up the top of the page. So that's the spec in. Next, I'm going to put the program module or module descriptor in. Same process. So again, this is an object. Click to highlight the entire object. Press delete or backspace. Leave the cursor at the start of the title, so just in front of the P on program module. I have a little folder on my desktop. So I get rid of all these other windows with my assessor folder ready. So it's a good idea to have your documents in one place so that it's a really nice and simple, straightforward population job. So program module, I'm going to open it up. So I'm going to do a little bit of tidying on this. I'm just going to click on enable editing because I can take the logos off because I'm popping it in to the ePortfolio template, which is already branded. QQI award logo off, and just make sure that things are still where I want them to be. Okay, and I have Kildare and Wicklow Education and Training Board in the heading. So I'm going to save that so it's ready for the next time, and then just go ahead and print. So you can either go file print or use your Control and P shortcut on your keyboard. So file print, same thing. Select your printer, so OneNote for Windows 10. And that's all set. I want it on portrait orientation and print. So again, OneNote should flash orange. There we go. And again, current page, press OK. Okay, so that landed a little bit down, but that's okay. I'm just going to click and highlight the entire object and just put it nice and neat and tidily under there. So now we are ready to move on to the procedures for assessment. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop in my assessment schedule, same process, click on the object, delete it out, put my cursor up the top, come back to my folder that I have my assessment schedule here. It's ready to go. So file, print, or I could use the print shortcut, just enable the printing there. Like that, OneNote for Windows 10, and click print. So this is an old one, but just using it for the purposes of building this out. Again, click on the current page and click OK. Now, that's dropped down a little bit on me. Again, just going to highlight the object and bring it up. Okay, so that's that one. Next, we're on to the assessment procedures. So in here, you would fill them in based on how many learners applied for compassionate consideration, reasonable accommodations, or assessment malpractice. And again, you'd probably fill this in kind of as it happens, as it occurs, but I'm just going to show you kind of what that would look like. So for example, compassionate consideration, 2 students applied for extensions. So number of applications approved, 2, and then 2 learners applied for CC to to reset the examination. And then when I put those exams in, I can link through, but I'll show how to do that at the end, just so you get the idea. Okay, and then for example, reasonable accommodations, one learner applied to sit their exam in a room by themselves. And again, I would link through to that particular student when I have it populated, but I'll show how to link that at the end. And then assessment malpractice, no. Okay, so integrated assessment then. So there is none. So I'm just going to type in NA. Feedback. Okay, so the process for this is I would typically annotate on top of student work. I would use my digital inking, and then I would leave kind of a comment on the end of their marking scheme as well. So for that purposes, I am going to tick this box and this box. So that's that. And then the feedback will be located in on the student work. Okay, so the register for exams, when I have that ready to go, I would print that in here. But I'm just going to take that object out for now so that it's ready. Okay, so next we need to do some building on the assessments, because in this particular instance we have 3 exams. But to get started, I'm just going to close up all these placeholders that are built in here for you for assessment techniques. So I'm going to get rid of the ones that I don't need. So this module that I'm building for has 3 exams. So I'm going to show you an example of how I would build that out. But for now, I'm going to get rid of the assignment. So just right click and press delete, and it deletes the entire collection of pages. Learner record, you can go as well. Delete. Collection of work, you can go as well. I'm going to keep the examination, but the project can go. Delete. And the skills demo, delete. Okay, so on the exam then, I'm going to shorten this slightly and just call it exam 1, and that will be database. But I just want to check that I have everything that I want in here. So the exam together with solutions and then the marking scheme. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so just going to close that up, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go copy. And then just on my keyboard, I'm going to go Control V, which is paste. So that gives me another little collection. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this for the next part. So exam 2, and that is going to be spreadsheets. And then same process again. So again, right click, copy, and you can also then go right click, paste. So this one then, I am going to change to exam 3. And I'm going to call it graphics, because that's what it's called in the descriptor. So now I have my placeholders set up for my 3 exams. So exam 1 database, exam 2 spreadsheets, and exam 3 graphics. And then I have space for my exam solutions and marking scheme. So I'm just going to show you again how to populate that out, but it's the exact same process. So open up the exam and solutions page. Again, I'm going to come back over to my little folder that I have ready to go. It has database practical, so click to open. And again, print, so Control P on my keyboard. Click the little drop down, OneNote for Windows 10, and then click print. Not now, Adobe. So again, my OneNote is flashing, so I'm just going to click on it, and I have the current page ready, and then click OK. Okay, so that has dropped in there, and again, just keeping an eye. Oh, I need to do a little sync here. So I've just noticed the little traffic light sign popping up. So I'm just going to right click and sync this notebook. Sometimes you do have to do this twice. Oh, no, I didn't. Patience. So there we go. So you'll see I have my little circle back with the arrows, and then I have my cloud with my tick. So again, my internet is cutting in and out a little bit today, so that's probably what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in my exam for spreadsheets. So again, back to my little folder. Spreadsheets exam opening up. Again, my Control P for print. OneNote for Windows 10 is automatically selected. Press print. So my OneNote is flashing. Current page and OK. Okay, so if your printout lands a little bit down, just scroll and find your little 4-dot menu. Click so that it highlights the entire object and just drag it to sit underneath. But usually if you leave the cursor at the top, it should drop in nested underneath your title. Okay, and then the last one that I'm going to pop in is just the graphics exam. So same scenario, across to the folder, graphics practical. It's opening up, Control P on my keyboard together at the same time for a second. It's automatically set for OneNote for Windows 10 and print. OneNote flashing orange, current page and OK. And there it is in on the page. Okay, so now we are ready just to take a look at putting in one of the marking schemes, just so that you can see what that looks like. So this will be an unpopulated one because I'm just popping it in directly from the Excel workbook, but I will populate this out. Okay, so I have my marking sheet here just for my graphics exam. So I'm only going to pop in one page. So I'm going to go ahead and press File and then Print. And I only want this one page from the workbook. So when it comes to the learner ePortfolios, I would typically enter this into the Excel workbook so that it auto creates and then populates out my learner marking sheet for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and print just the active sheet. So it's just this page. And again, from the drop down, OneNote for Windows 10 and then print. Again, it's flashing orange, current page, and then OK. Okay, so there's my marking scheme in for my graphics exam. Okay, so that is pretty much the end of the demo for the Assessor ePortfolio. So I would just go back then and put in the marking scheme for the other two exams. But otherwise that is everything in until I get to the next stage. So what I will be doing then is going back and popping in the printout for the register for my exams. I would have 3 of them. So what I would do here is just customize the title. So for exam 1, and then again, copy this page, paste this page, exam 2, copy the page, paste the page, exam 3. So I would print in my register for each of my exams or scan it in, whatever works best, depending on how that is. Otherwise, I have everything in there that I need, except the link to the reasonable accommodations and compassionate consideration. But that will be in the next video that we do. The only other thing that I'm going to show is the provisional results sheet, simply because we have a template in on the PD team there. So in here on the ePortfolio project channel, on the Files tab, we have a template just for the provisional results sheet. So it's contained within the folder ePortfolio Printout Templates. So if you just click on that folder, I'm just going to show you the sample one that's in here. So provisional results sheet, I'm going to click on it. So I'm just going to go with the sample, but there is a template there that you can customize for yourself. So again, if you want to, you can click on the three dots. You can copy it across, download it, edit it, open it, do whatever you like with it. For now, I'm just going to open it and show you what it looks like when it's completed and printed in to the ePortfolio. So I'm going to do this right from Teams, I hope, or that's my plan at least. So this is just a sample. It's actually for the IT skills module, but anyway, here goes. File, print, and show a print-friendly version. So again, I just want the active sheet. The orientation is set to landscape, and then I'm just going to click print. It opens up a new window for me with a print dialog box. Again, I'm set to OneNote for Windows 10 because that's what I've been using. You can see from the preview everything fits nicely on the page, and then go ahead and hit print. So this time is a little bit different. Oh no, it's not. I was smart. I think I do it habitually now. Current page and then OK. But you can navigate through your ePortfolios if you don't have your current page open. But let's not confuse things. Current page and then away we go. So there it is. And now that's ready for me to sign off. Okay, so that is a quick demo of copying across your ePortfolio template and populating your Assessor ePortfolio with a structure. So I hope you find the video useful. Do watch the video, play it, pause it, repeat it as you get your ePortfolio populated. Best of luck.